We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
I want to talk about news, don't want the drama. From no pretentious media Madonna. I found me a great ganja mama. Cannabis and coffee with Tamarijuana.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Cannabis and Coffee. It's a absolutely beautiful day in the East Kootenays this morning. Blue sky, not a cloud in it. It's a bit chilly, but it's absolutely beautiful this morning. I was thinking I was going to be doing this show alone today. I'm not. Al's still in the background. Thank you, Al, for stepping up. We forgot to teach me how to do the ending to the program. So Al's still helping me out today. So thanks, Al. I really, really appreciate that. And I was thinking we were going to be running late, but Alvin got in and out of that vaccination center pretty dang quickly this morning. So I'm on time too. So everything's kind of worked out really well this morning. This morning, we're just going to be talking to Cheryl Rose, who's with me right now. Say good morning, Cheryl.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys?
I'm kind of excited about this. I'm kind of excited because today is the day that I'm going to launch Hayley's GoFundMe page. And we've been talking about this for months because Cheryl's been kind of trying to figure out how to go about raising some funds because Hayley really needs mobility. And anybody, okay, so I'm just going to backtrack for any of our listeners that might not know who we're talking about. Hayley Jade Rose, it was the first licensed medical cannabis child in Canada. She was 14 or 15, I guess, almost 15. 15 when Cheryl
just turned.
Yeah, like she was
just turned 50.
Yeah. When Cheryl finally got a doctor that would actually sign, but Hayley's got epilepsy. Well, not what is exactly what the diagnosis is, Cheryl?
It's called Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, and it is a severe form of epilepsy. Starts off in childhood, includes cognitive and physical delays, medication resistant, multiple seizure types, lifelong deterioration. It's not a good prognosis. And, Hayley's almost passed away a few times. So the first time was, back in 2008. I'm smoking a pipe here. Sorry about that.
Cough, and today, like I said, it's kind of like the show where it's not really, we're not going to have any structure. We're just going to because this is about you guys today. This is about Hayley and what Hayley needs. And Hayley needs mobility. Hayley needs a vehicle. Hayley needs, and to be clear, everybody, Cheryl will not, this is not going to be put in Cheryl's name. This has got nothing to do with her mom. No. Hayley's a 28-year-old woman now. So because she's now a 28-year-old woman now, she had a birthday, Mom.
I had to think about that for a second.
So she's a 28-year-old woman now. So it's really, before she was a kid, funding was a little more available, grants and funding and stuff, because when they're under 18, there's a lot more resources for children with disabilities than there's for adults with disabilities. So now that Hayley's an adult and she's a young woman who, really shouldn't even be here because they already had a prognosis that she's not going to make it to be 30 years old. And here she is at 28 going, fuck you, I'm still alive and I'm not going anywhere. Because she's stubborn, like her mom.
Oh, yeah. Well, they didn't think she was going to be there for 16, like, at all. There was no way, right? So, yeah.
Exactly. That's giving you the
very lucky.
Right? She's been palliative how many times? Like, again, like, that's a thing. Oh. So now that she's 28, trying to get funding to get her any better mobility, because let's face it, it's not there. Adults with disabilities live on limited income. They get no real perks. There's nothing for you to go get grants for anything. So,
there's all the funding that there is for children with vehicle and vehicle help. We did not fall in at that time, but now, if she was a kid, she would qualify and get the funding that would is the conversion funding. It's like $15,000 for converting your a certain type of a van into a wheelchair accessible van. as an adult, they cut that off, which is absolutely ludicrous that they do this, because they're most people who have severe conditions, as they progress in life, they may need additional things, not subtraction. She didn't suddenly get better from a deteriorating condition, you know?
Well, no, and even as a child, like
Yeah.
you still have that condition going into adulthood. So so once you're 18, it's like, well, if your mobility, isn't getting better, likely it's getting worse, and
Yeah.
they don't have any funding, so you couldn't even upgrade what you had for a child to an adult size because there was no funding
No.
for it, right? So
You wouldn't even be able to do it. You're screwed.
Yeah, exactly. So what we need, people, is we need to get Hayley, because let's face it, Cheryl lives in the Lower Mainland. The hospital ride in a taxi that's got wheelchair accessibility, one way for Hayley to see her neurologist is $100. One way. So that's a $200 ride to the doctor and back when she has to go see her neurologist. That in itself is ridiculous, because both Cheryl and Hayley are living on disability. There's no money. They get very limited funds. And because they're living on disability, they can't even fundraise or work or make any money for themselves. So,
No.
that being said, Hayley needs a ride. Hayley needs a vehicle that she can have wheelchair accessibility, as well as get herself back and run, have her caregiver, because her caregiver will be the one that would be driving. And you would be driving once you get a license. But Cheryl doesn't have a driver's license right now. So this is not like for Cheryl.
No, it's totally not for me. This is all about Hayley and what Hayley needs in order to have quality and quantity of life.
Right. And it's really sad that we have to even say that, but some people are so ignorant that they would automatically just assume. So we're just going to take that off the table. There's no assumptions here. Hayley will not be driving this, because of course Hayley is disabled and not able to drive, but she's got caregivers that can drive for her, which can take her out, can take her to the doctors, all her appointments, all her medical needs, as well as give her some quality of life, like taking her off to an isolated beach where she can sit and watch the water and have nobody around her, because she can't. She's light sensitive. She's sound sensitive. The kid can't even enjoy life in her own house. She has to wear sound blocking headphones. Rain bouncing off a tin roof causes Hayley severe grief. Like there's just so
even through the window. If you can hear the rain come through the window, Hayley has to have headphones on. If you have an aerosol spray can, my youngest had one that had some I don't know, hairspray or dandruff spray, or those dry shampoo things. Yeah. Had one of them, was in their room, sprayed it, and Hayley had to have headphones on because that sound penetrated enough. I mean, to you and I, we wouldn't even notice it, but for her, it's a whole nother ball game.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
So these are the things that, like I said, we can't do everything in life for people, but we can actually try and make their lives better. And this is what we want to do for Hayley, because like I said, I've known Hayley and Cheryl now going on 12 years, 13 years. I don't even know anymore. Doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. What the relevancy is that we need to get some funds, people. And I know things are tight right now with COVID and everything else that's going on in everybody's lives, but I'm sure that, once I get this GoFundMe page up, we're looking at probably trying to raise about $20,000. I'm thinking overall. Anything that, and once the vehicle is bought, Cheryl will get the vehicle, and anything that's left over, we put into a trust for Hayley as well. Because let's face it, costs of
it would actually, I'd put it in a thing for vehicle maintenance for the vehicle. Right. So anything raised for it will all strictly go for this vehicle, for her ability to, for health and safety, making sure she can get out of the house, get down the block to a park where she can see more than just a tree in my yard, right? Stuff like that. So
I mean, you guys can't travel via plane, train, you know what I mean? And then she still have to have
no boat, no nothing.
The headset, right? So even if she was in that vehicle, she still has to have her glasses and her headset and everything else on. It would just make it so that she would be so much better off being able to get to point A to point B without having to be on transit around people.
She can't even go on transit. She can only go in wheelchair accessible vehicles. Her doctor said no transit, no buses, wheelchair accessible vehicle. And if we took a wheelchair accessible van, God only knows how much it would cost, but to a beach, then they leave. what if something happens and we need to get Hayley out of there? Right? She needs to, maybe we need to get home, get her rest or whatever, and it's not on the time frame that we have scheduled for that. Having a wheelchair accessible vehicle allows us to deal with things in the moment that she needs them dealt with, so that we can ensure her best health and safety. And that's really all it always comes back to, is how can we give her the best possible life with when she has so many parameters. And yeah, and just little things really mean a lot, and a vehicle for her would be so life-changing on quality and accessibility for her doctors and stuff. It would be really.
Well, that's it. Bottom line, it's not even. It's the recreation part of this is just kind of an added bonus that she would be able to do anything recreational.
She can't get her a doctor, right?
But it's more. Yeah,
we're moving. Yeah, we're moving at the end of June. We've got all our paperwork and stuff. The landlord is selling or renting it out to, I don't know what he's doing. He's renovating it or selling it. And so we've already got all that. We have to move at the end of June, and we're already $100 taxi ride from the hospital. When looking at affordable houses to rent, we're looking at, we may have to move a little more on the edge of the lower mainland, and which means that amount is going to increase, right, for getting her to that hospital. So all these things come into play, and it's like, how do we ensure her best health and safety?
Yeah, and that's exactly it, bottom line. And like I said, quality of life too, because that's important. I mean, when you're living your life, like even in times like this, they still haven't said you can't go for a walk, right? They still haven't said you can't leave your house completely. So, summer is coming. Maybe things will get a little better as people get, moving forward in time with this stupid virus. That, beaches will be, less places that you can't go. You know what I mean? Like, Like things are not going to be like this forever. Like, right? Like things are not going to stay like this forever. So we have to look forward to the future. And Hayley's got one. So let's try and figure this out. Is what I keep saying. Let's just get this figured out.
I mean, there are so many regulations because of COVID and everything going on. But even without them, Hayley's life in its own has a lot of restrictions, a lot of safety guards in order for her to function every single day. And even with the restrictions from COVID, there are things you can still do. There are things we can still do with her to give her that quality of life that is outside four walls of her room or outside the, immediate perimeter of her little block she lives on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And that's where we're at with this, is that she needs, everybody does. Like, everybody needs quality of life.
Yeah.
And definitely Hayley, like I said, you guys have been kind of like bounced around and doing, and it's just been traumatic.
All over, yeah.
Let's face it, right? All the way around. But let's just, the whole point of it is like the hospital. That's what got me. It was like, are you kidding me? $100
that's a huge problem. That's just for appointments. And they're like, no, you're not, we're not going to have you get, unless it was like critical. Like I would love, the only way she can really get her teeth checked is to get into the hospital and have an appointment at VGH in the dentistry where they're available when the machine, I say when because the probability is extremely high of the machine sending her into seizures. So we have all our safeguards put in play. We can only do that at VGH because of the equipment. So, we have to stop certain things that aren't considered life-threatening. They're not even going to let us book an appointment for because we can't even travel, right, at all. So, but it's things that she does need to have done. And if we had a vehicle, we could book that appointment. We could get her in and have that done in hospital. And they would let us because we have a vehicle.
Yeah. And even with restrictions right now, they're still allowing people to go to the dentist. Like medical appointments are essential.
Yeah.
So it's not like, Hayley
can't go to a regular dentist.
No, exactly not.
She can't go to a regular. She's got to go to VGH, which is $100 cab ride one way. So
Yeah,
in order for her
and
to,
that
yeah.
takes out of your grocery money because disability doesn't pay for your cab rides. Like I don't think people quite
Oh,
understand.
no.
Like just because you're on disability doesn't mean you can just willy nilly go pick up a prescription and book an appointment to and go get a cab. It doesn't work that way. So that takes $200 out of your grocery money, or $200 out of your med money, or whatever paying your light bill or whatever it takes. And if she's got to go a couple times a month, that can be expensive. Like, let's
Oh,
face
yeah.
it, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
wouldn't put that much money in fuel in the vehicle over a month usually to get you to where you'd have to be. Like I don't spend $400 a month on
Well,
fuel ever.
even to take her for blood tests, which it would be optimum if we got them done every 1 to 2 months, 3 max. But it costs at least $40 to $45 for a return trip. Like go there, get out, get back in the vehicle on the way back for blood tests. Right. So, and we have to do that would cost $10, $15 in a tank versus,
Yeah,
exactly. So it's
I mean these new vehicles too. Like I mean, I'm not saying we're going to be able to buy right off, but we'd like to put out there too. If anybody knows a dealer or a car salesman or anybody on the Lower Mainland that might be able to talk to their bosses about donations or possible ways of getting a sponsorship from somebody, that would be terrific too. Because in hindsight, like we'd like to get something that's not some old beat up piece of crap. Like that's not what we're looking for here. We want something that's pretty new. Actually, I'd like to buy brand new so that it's got warranty, so that there's something that maintenance and stuff is not a problem for you guys. I'd also like
that's the thing. Like we don't want to have to get a vehicle and all of a sudden we can't drive the vehicle because a few months in, there's something major that needs to. I just don't have the money for, right? So it's better to get something that we know is working well rather than get hit with $1,000 bill, $800 bill, $500 bill. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So ideally, you've been looking at vehicles and you found that the Dodge Caravan is the best vehicle to put the conversion kit in. And there are some available. Like I said, we did look online a bit, my friend and I, and we did find a few that were, a couple years old that did already have the conversions in them that were, under $10,000. So again, we're gonna set the limit on this GoFundMe for about 20,000, and anything that and that might not be enough once we start looking. So we might have to bump that up. But that's what we're kind of looking for, people. We're looking for some, some sponsorships, some donations, some way of getting us to that $20,000 mark for Hayley, so that she can have some quality of life, so she can get back and forth to her doctors, so that she can actually have a life. And that's basically what it is. So she can have a life.
Yeah. I sent you the thing that from her care attendant's point of view, of the different things of how she sees as a care attendant, how it'll change, because this is our permanent care attendant that we now have, right? So this person works, 4 days a week, 8 hours each day with Hayley, and it's about making sure that Hayley is having the fun and getting to experience life. And that's what this woman is awesome. We just love her to no end. And she is really good at helping Hayley to experience as much possible things and joy and, just enjoying life. And we just really want to give Hayley a little bit more of that too.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. Do you want to read? Do you have that in front of you? Do you want to read some of what the caretaker wrote, or do you have it in front of
you? Okay.
Because that's basically, and here's another thing too with GoFundMe, people, we cannot put anything about cannabis on the GoFundMe. So it won't say that Hayley's the first licensed cannabis patient in Canada. That's not what this is about. Cannabis is a big part of her life. It keeps her alive, but she's also on a special diet. She also has her mom that watches her 24/7 and a caretaker. She's also got other issues that cannabis can't help with. So this is about cannabis patients, yes, but this is also about one cannabis patient, unfortunately, we can't mention in the GoFundMe. But this is all bottom line because she is a cannabis patient, and she's our first child. Like that's how I look at Hayley. It's like, yeah, there's lots of other kids now too. There's been like, I'm all
it's incredible. It's wonderful.
And because of Hayley, because of Hayley, those doors got open for those other kids. And because of Charlotte, other doors got open for other kids. So, you know what I mean? Like, we have to, again, go back to the pioneers who started this to begin with. And Cheryl, if it wasn't for you fighting like hell for your daughter, we wouldn't have any kids in Canada with fucking licensing. And that's it. That's how I see this. Like,
it was insane. It was an insane fight, and they were not nice about it in the beginning. And we fought hard, and I'm glad we did, because watching the system change, the children get access, has just been I feel so blessed to watch these children have access to it, and knowing that our fight, that Hayley fought so hard in order, and we fought to make it happen so that people could see, hey, it could. And I mean, it just ran,
Yeah.
It just ran. Parents listened and they heard, and it just expanded. It expanded. Not everybody knows who Hayley is, but it doesn't matter. We know that what we did in her journey did make a difference, right? And it helps others, and that's important, right?
Well, that's exactly it. It's the ones that sit in the background without notoriety that are the ones that paved the way, right? And you paved the way, and the footprints you left has just made it so it, like you said, it just exploded. And thankfully to your doctor, because he's been instrumental too in a lot of research and a lot of different things that are going on for the cannabis medical patients too. And he's, like I said, he's the only one that signs for her, and thankfully he did.
Yeah.
Right? Because back then, there was no doctors that were going to sign. No, none. He took a risk.
No. They wouldn't even look at the papers. They wouldn't let me take them out of the envelope.
Right? I know. I got told the same thing. Get out of your office. We don't know. What are you talking about? Cannabis? What? Are you a junkie? Yeah. And I hate that word. I hate to even use that word.
I have a little bit here from our care attendant that I'm going to read you, and she talks about that Hayley has severe seizures because of multiple facts, which make her super sensitive. She's unable to tolerate bright colors, patterns, fast movements, various types of sounds, rain, whoosh sound from trees, shade, and many more things that we cannot even imagine. And many are still not even encountered yet. She is bound in her house because of the above-mentioned factors. She never walks beyond a block down from her house. This pandemic is another reason for not taking her out anywhere, not even down the block, because of people walking on the sidewalks. And sometimes they do not follow safety measures, and that's harmful to Hayley's well-being. Due to Hayley's vulnerability, she has very sensitive sensors, and it's hard, and this is from our caregiver, it is very hard for me to take her anywhere on public transport. Aside from the fact that Hayley, in order to go on public transit, she needs her wheelchair and everything. If we didn't have COVID, then she could go on it. The caretaker is talking about how it would be difficult because on public transit, a lot of bright colors, different patterns, fast-moving vehicle without extra safety is required for her to avoid seizing. She is to use several different things to protect herself from seizing: 2 headphones, one with music, one without, glasses to avoid glare. She gets overheated from walking, which causes seizures. She's on a special diet, and if she needs foods and they're on her public transit, she may not be able to get her home or feed her properly on public transit. We wouldn't be, if there was an emergency and Hayley needed some emergency fat, she needed her blood ketones checked quickly, we wouldn't be able to just pull over the bus and look, right? These are things that do have to happen. This morning, I was telling you that I thought the heart monitor was showing seizures. I came down, Hayley's blood was only 3.3. I immediately that's why I wasn't responding when you were texting me. I was immediately getting MCT oil in her as a fat bomb to raise those ketones to prevent any grand moles from happening now that she's awake. There's things like, it's a challenge taking Hayley out because we can't walk for hours to get to any parks, lakes, anything. We can't let her, you can't go far, but you are allowed in certain city limits. And there are areas that we can take her very beautiful. It's that she can't explore without the vehicle. It's next to impossible to rescue her if we were, walking down the road. If she's walking down the road and the sounds send her into a seizure, we can't protect her. Whereas in a vehicle, we can protect her better. Then it says, as Hayley is so fragile.
Well, you can also have with her being in a van, that means you can bring all those things with you, right? You can bring drinks,
exactly.
And you can bring snacks, and you can bring blankets or whatever you need. It's like a little mini house on wheels.
Exactly. We'll have emergency kit goes in the vehicle, right?
Right.
So it's always with her.
And you can medicate her with her cannabis in the vehicle. Where if she's out in public transit, you can't vape her. Or you can't do her nasal. No. You know what I mean? You've got people around you. Even if we were back to normal times and COVID didn't exist, you still have all these barriers. Forget COVID even exists. This has really got nothing to do with COVID. Right. COVID's just an added fuck around to add to everything.
Well, that's an added issue.
Everybody's bitching about hospitals are full on a regular basis. This is just adding to the problem. You have medical problems every single fucking day of Hayley's life. COVID's just adding to it. You have to deal with this on a regular basis every day. It wouldn't matter whether COVID was around or not. Hayley still has all these barriers and all these things that restrict her from doing anything. Even the $100 on a cab would still be there if COVID didn't fucking exist. So forget about COVID.
Well, exactly. And that could be used for something else for her. Something, even if it's something as simple as getting, being able to afford some Atkins peanut butter cups, which she's allowed. I can work them in on her diet, and it's a special treat. Or maybe it's some art paper that she wants that's a higher grade than the cheapest one on the market. Something, right? That money could be used to help her in other ways.
Yeah.
Right.
And I said over and over again, our PWD disability is a joke. Even these unemployment CERB checks, $2,000 a month per person. Seriously, when people's rents are $2,000 a month, what the fuck do they think really does it do? It's nothing. Peanuts now. Even in Cranbrook, 1-bedroom apartments, $1,498 a month. And that's just for rent. That's not including your utilities. So how does a single person end up living? Never mind if you've got children. People don't get the fact that if you're not making minimum $25 an hour, you're not living in Canada. $15 an hour minimum wage, fuck. That's a slap in the face. And I get small businesses can't. If you can't afford it, then don't be in fucking business. Seriously, I'm so sick of these business owners. It's not a right to own a fucking business. Sorry to tell you, it's not. It's not a right. Not a right.
No, anyway, I know.
Just get me on my fucking tangent, right? And this is what pisses me off. It's we've got all this shit going on, and we still have people that have to live their lives daily like this. Every single day is still a struggle, whether we've got, and then you got all this other crap going on around you. So right now it's about raising money for Hayley. And like I said, I get that, people are short on cash and everything else. But, this woman needs this. This is something that's really super important for her to have any quality of life. And like I said, never mind the money that it saves. It's a fact of the matter that she will be able to go and leave the four walls of her bedroom, not having to wear a headset to stop the noise from the rain on the roof anymore. Just those fleeting 30 minutes a day, even if that's all it is, it just makes a difference. And for you too. The stress levels in the house and Gwen and, because there's another child living in that house. It's not just Hayley, it's Gwen too. You guys have, your family unit. It affects everybody. So again, this is really important to me and to you and to Hayley. But I really want to make sure that I want to do this. I want people to really get on board with this. This is really, really important. And on that note, I guess we better thank our sponsors so that we can keep going on this network. So we're going to take a quick 2-minute break and thank our sponsors. You've been listening to us live on paceradio.net.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
CP operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888. And grow on with CP.
Pace Radio is the people advocating cannabis education radio network.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
The People's Alliance of Cannabis in Canada is an organization working to improve cannabis legalization in Canada. They have a mission and values that includes all Canadians, no matter where they come from. The values are including everyone, as no one should be excluded from participating, equality, diversity, advocacy, along with cannabis education and research, plus industry, safety, and professional standards. If this is an organization that has the same values as you, check them out at peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Once again, peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Check them out.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
All right, we're back with Cheryl. We're talking about the fact that because we've got a comment. Thanks, Ron, for listening. I'll just pass on the comments over the break, and thanks for listening. By the way, yeah, Hayley does get about a little bit of money for travel, but it's like $50, and it doesn't really cover the cost because like that's not even half a one-way trip. So, and because Hayley in British Columbia, they will like PWD does buy bus passes for everybody. And they're $100 in Vancouver, whatever they are here, I'm not sure. But Hayley can't take transit. So $50 is all they give her per month. And that doesn't even cover the cost, even half of one cab ride. So that's her travel funds. So yeah, they do give you a little bit of money, but not the 41 cents like they do for you guys out in Ontario, not here anyways. And again, that wouldn't be enough to cover even half of one trip for a neurology appointment. Like it just doesn't. It's ridiculous.
I will, once we have a vehicle, I can ask them if they do it. If I know when you're long distance, they would pay a vehicle certain gas mileage, but I like out of the lower mainland, right? I know that they would do that because we've done that before, but they didn't pay mileage. They put us on a bus. But I don't know if they do that here because I haven't had a vehicle, right? So
Right.
I haven't checked out. Maybe they do that for doctor's appointments. If so, we will definitely take advantage of it. But they don't do it. It would only be if you had a vehicle. I don't know that any other way other than the $50 that they give you to help instead of the bus pass.
Yeah. That's yeah. I don't know too. Like it is, yeah, that's all. Yeah, like I said, back and forth. Like it's just ridiculous. And even like it cost, but I mean the cost of fuel. So like again, like everything's changed, right? Like we have to adapt to what our new surroundings are right now, and with fuel costs being what they are, of course, a cab ride might even be more than $100 now, Cheryl. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what the gas prices are.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that it's like 40 to 45 just to go get the blood test, which isn't that far from us, but it's too far for Hayley to walk. Or like it's too far to walk with her or push her in the wheelchair, and it's but by taxi there and back is about $40 to $45 depending
there's
on
so many barriers
traffic.
when you live without a vehicle. Like I can't imagine. Like honestly, like I've been a spoiled, privileged, little snot my whole life. I've had a vehicle since I was 18 years old. I've always been able to maintain a vehicle no matter what. Like I think I was out without a vehicle and my parents helped me. Like don't kid yourself. It wasn't like I was, my mom and dad helped me a lot. So, but I've always had that independence, and I don't know what I'd do without it. I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't able to jump in my car and just go. So being that, it's my independence for everything, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine. Yeah. So for this would just add so much quality of life for your whole family. Like, even so you could send the care attendant to go pick up some milk. And rather than you having to walk
our care attendant, our care attendant actually is allowed and gets the company they work for will cover their mileage to pick up specialty groceries and stuff for Hayley. So, yeah, they will. So if Hayley has a vehicle, that's no problem, right? They, they'll cover things like that so that we can get those specialty things, because there are things you cannot just get at your local grocery store and stuff. If I can't order it, sometimes I have to get it from certain places, or there's no hope, right? And she needs to have some variety of food, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's a thing, like, quality of life, and that's the thing. Like, I think we're all just looking to have a good quality of life, and we're all patients, and yourself included. You're also a medical patient as well. So, and never mind the fact that you've got to move again, which is added stress to the whole situation.
I'm really concerned how far away, because we have to go we have to move based on income and affordability of the house. So I have no idea what that entails when it comes to where is the place that we're going to be getting her blood tests every month at? Where is the hospital in relation to that? Where is the nearest hospital? Where are the pharmacies? All this sort of thing I have to take into consideration. And it's really funny because a lot of things are set up that if you have a vehicle, like if Hayley has a vehicle, there is a little more options for her, like that she can have and do. Just with their regulations and stuff.
Yeah, like the flexibility ability. Yeah, I get that, and that's a big thing. Yeah. And again, like I said, we should have actually probably launched this on May 1st is really when I wanted to, but of course, shit happens as usual.
Actually, Hayley, because you know what? That interview, Hayley was doing so well, and just after, like the next day, she started having seizures, and she had a weight gain with the diet, and we've actually are working on now. We know she's doing well because she's having a hard time. Like the weight is not dropping anywhere near what we were hoping it would. From the last interview. So she's just been having seizure issues galore. with it because her ketones aren't staying in the right range, and we're trying to drop her weight, and she's just not losing it fast enough. But it means she's metabolizing better, right? So, I mean, yay on the metabolizing, but boo that you still have to lose at least 6 to 10 pounds in order, Yeah. So that's what we've been doing with since then. So it's been crazy around here. So
Right, exactly.
Sorry, I've been late on a lot of things.
Hey, like I say, shit happens, and our families and our health are always first. So again, like the reason why is because I wanted to have this dusted by June 1st. So when you moved, we had a vehicle for you. And again, I'm going to need some help from people in the Lower Mainland too, because I'm in Cranbrook and I need people to help. So if anybody's out there that would like to volunteer helping me look for vehicles and get some sponsorship and raise some cash, please reach out to me or Cheryl, because we're gonna need some legs and some boots on the ground probably out there, because Cheryl can't go looking. I need somebody that's mechanically inclined that knows a little bit of something about vehicles. So if anybody can help, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
But if not, we'll figure
Definitely.
it out. Like, we'll figure it out. If I have to drive out there myself, I guess I will. And that's an option. I'm not kidding. But again, like I'd like to have.
I know you would. I know. I am so appreciative. Like
by the 1st of June, so when you guys move, you've got a vehicle to go with. So we've got 3 weeks, people, to raise $20,000, and let's get this done. So I will get the GoFundMe up. I actually opened the GoFundMe page this morning to set it up, and I'm going to get that set up right after the show, and I'm going to be linking that and dropping that wherever I can. So share, because again, even if it's only a couple bucks, every $2 is going to add up. I would hope that some of our sponsors and some of the people that do have a little bit of cash, like, can maybe dole a little bit more. We've got papers and all kinds of other people that have businesses that, listen. So if you guys are out there and can help, we don't need papers and donations like that. We need cash. So this is straight up, this is the cash grab. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean that, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, seriously.
Yeah.
Or if somebody has a vehicle that they can donate, that would even be better. So, something like, but it has to be a van. We can't have a car. We can't have a 4x4. It needs to be.
There's only 2 or 3 types that they actually do conversions on. And the reason why we picked the Dodge Caravan was because it can be converted where Hayley is in the middle of it rather than the back, so that even if somebody's in the passenger, they can easily reach her. The driver can easily see her, pull over, and not have to jump out of the vehicle or over anything to get to Hayley. That's why we liked that design. It was best for Hayley's needs, for a care attendant to be able to care for her in case of, or anyone else in case of an emergency.
Right.
While still allowing her to see, but not too much. Yeah.
Well, you've done some research.
But anyone, right?
Right. So again, like I said, we're looking for help, I guess is the best way to put it. We need help to get Hayley a vehicle, and that's why we're doing this. And it's pretty, like I said, this is pretty important to me and to Cheryl and definitely to Hayley. And I mean, she was on like the last time you guys were on, Hayley was really, she was lucid and she spoke and, really gave me.
She actually wants to say hi. She's awake. She's tired, but she wants to say hello.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, honey. How you doing?
Good.
That's good. We're launching your fundraiser today to try and get you a van. So we're launching that today.
Thank you.
Oh, well, we love you.
I heard you guys talking. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Like I said, this is going to be the project for the month. So you better get better so we can get you to a beach. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm glad she's like up, and I know it is though. Like it's really tough, and you've been doing this for so long, and I just want to, like I said, it's something that.
Well,
really needs to be
I don't drive, so it's not me that needs a vehicle, right? I would probably never even have a vehicle if Hayley didn't need it. So it's all truly based on her actual true need of requiring it. Otherwise, we wouldn't even have a vehicle. I'm only going to get my license so that I can drive her when we don't have a care attendant if we need to. So,
like again, like if you're out doing something and say she goes into a seizure, you can at least put her in the van where she's safe. Right? You can't do that on the street. You can't do that on transit. You can't do that when you're walking. Again, too, like if you wanted to take a trip that's a little longer than, to get her out to, instead of just staying within the Lower Mainland. Say you wanted to go to Kamloops.
Oh, she loves farms. She loves farms and animals.
Somewhere to get to that she could go and see animals. Exactly. Like, there are so many things that would make things better for her that, like I said, the list is long, right? And it's about her.
Exactly.
It's about her quality of life and keeping her safe and healthy for as long as we possibly can. And that's it.
Exactly.
I want to be 90 still, trying to make sure that you guys are okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously. I don't know.
I want to, I want to be seeing this girl keep going. She's doing so well. Like it's these environmental seizures are just terrible, right? So, but other ways, I mean, she's been drawing and working on her art and stuff. So yes.
I was drawing a pear, half pear right now, and then I'm going to draw one with the whole pear. When you cut a pear in half?
Yeah.
When you cut the pear in half?
Yeah.
I'm drawing that one right now. And then I'm drawing one that has, that's not cut in half. Then an orange and, I forget the other one. There's 3 of them.
Maybe what we should do, Hayley, is get you to draw something and then we could auction it off. Somebody could have a Hayley Rose original. That might be an idea. Depends on how you're feeling, though, honey.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do that?
I'm trying to right now.
She's actually been like, Mom, if I draw stuff and I'm doing this with with all her stuff and working on her techniques and stuff, can I sell them? Can I help to make the money for the van? I was like, you are adorable. Yes, of course.
Absolutely. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll auction off a Hayley Rose original. I think it's a great idea. I really like that idea because every little bit's going to help. So we can have an auction. We're going to do the GoFundMe. That's going to be the start. And like I said, along with the rest of the month, let's auction off some paintings and some drawings if that's what you'd like to do. If you're feeling up to it, I'm down for that. We can do that most definitely. So like I said, there's all kinds of ideas that we can, do. I had another idea too. I'll throw at you after we're off the air because I don't want to say it on the air, but I have another idea that I'm going to throw at somebody here in town locally and see if we can't do some other way of fundraising for you. So this is just the GoFundMe. It's just kind of like the one little idea I have that's going up today.
Yeah.
Like I said,
GoFundMe is like the go-to of how, you know what I mean? Like it's
like, that's the thing. I really don't like that platform. Like that's why I've been kind of dragging my feet.
I know.
I just don't like the fact that they take money from you, that people have to put their credit card information and all. I'm not really big on that.
I know.
Platform. I wish there was another way. But again, like I said, I've had issues with my bank account, so I can't run things through that right now. Not that it's bad, it's just my Visa.
Yeah, and it's not a small amount of money to just run through, right?
And the idea was too, like with the GoFundMe, if we could find a car dealership that would be able to collect the money directly, so that it's not going into anybody's account. Like, you know what I mean? So if we can work with a dealership, say in the Lower Mainland somewhere, so once we raise the money, they can just go onto the website and take the money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of my other ideas of getting around this whole GoFundMe thing, because like I said, I don't know what the tax portion of it, I don't even care. I know we're going to have to pay some provincial sales tax on the sale of the car, and that we should be able to cover with the money that we raise, right? But again, like there's going to be
Yeah.
taxes, there's insurance, there's registration, there's all kinds of things that when you buy a vehicle that need to be set up. And again, if we buy the vehicle, then we need the conversion package. That's $15,000 just for the conversion package, unless we can find a vehicle that already has one set up in it. So that's what we're
Exactly. That would be optimum.
right.
Even
So
if it was a vehicle that needed something fixed and there was the funds to fix it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it could be, if it was something that could be replaced or something, you know, there's ways.
Right. Well, that's again why we need. Why, when I say $20,000, that might not be enough. Like, it might not be enough. So we're gonna have to kind of, like I said, kind of watch along the way, see where we're going, see where the fundraiser is going. But we need a lot of money, people. Like, I'm not even going to mince my words about this. This is a vehicle conversion package, and like I said, registration, insurance to get them on the road. So, yeah, I don't know what a new vehicle. I haven't looked, pardon me, at new vehicle pricing very lately, honestly, because I can't afford a free lunch, so I haven't looked at anything.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, the conversions package is between 15 and 18,000. It's crazy.
Right, but we
The
did
what?
look at Kijiji. Well, we were.
Yeah.
Remember weeks ago we were looking at Kijiji and we did find that one. It was a 2008 Dodge Caravan with the conversion package in it, but it was $8,200. But again, you always want to be careful because you're buying used. And then, you know, and my parents have a Dodge Caravan, okay? Like it's an old one. It's sitting parked in their driveway, but that thing ran forever. In fact, I think the stupid thing still runs, but my mom, I don't know, but it's like a 98 kind of. And I think my dad's finally going to put it to rest. But I know Dodge Caravans are really good vehicles to begin. Like my mom and dad didn't have very many problems with theirs, and my grandparents had one before that. So that's a good vehicle. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what they're running anywhere. But again, we can check.
There's a stipulation if it's a vehicle that doesn't have the conversion already done, doesn't have the lifter thing, you know, the wheelchair part in it. Yeah. The vehicle can't be older than 5 years.
Right.
This is from because there's a couple of conversion places, and I called them all to find out, you know, and see which ones certain ones only do certain vehicles, other ones do different vehicles, you know, and they all run between 15 and 18,000 for the conversion. So once you got the vehicle, you still have to get that in unless you've already got it.
Right. And that's why we need like 20,000 just basically for the conversion package. Then we need a vehicle on top of it. So we're looking at maybe $50,000 fundraiser here rather than a 20,000. Because you were saying 30,000 a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, well, okay, if we can find one that's already got it. But then I'm thinking, okay, but
when you look at the conversion, unless it's
go ahead.
We saw one for 30,000 through one of the dealerships. But then they didn't get back to me. I think they were fixing some things. They might have increased the price or something. I'm not sure. It was a Toyota Sienna.
Yeah, everything's gone up too. Like,
yeah, we did find a Dodge Caravan one on the island, but it needed it was like 10 grand, but it needed there were things that had to be needed like right away and things that would be needed very, very soon. So the price was not really going to be 10 grand, right? It was going to be quite a bit more.
Right.
So.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
So, exactly.
And I had absolutely nothing at that point. Like I didn't even have it. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know. I'm going to try and find a vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's tough, right? Like it just kind of like, again, like we're going to have to do some more research, but I'd like people to look, you know, talk to their Dodge dealerships, people. I don't have an
if you know anybody at a Dodge dealership.
Right. So again, like that's where we're at. And it just kind of, but again, we'll get the GoFundMe page up and I'll be plastering that all over the place here. Like I said, as much as I hate GoFundMe, but it's basically the only platform they've got. I don't know what crowdfunding, I might look at what other,
I'm
I know
not
they
sure.
take a percentage, but that'll be up to date for sure. Cause you got me that lovely letter from the caretaker and that, or care attendant, and that's what I'm going to use. Again, people, we can't put cannabis on any related because GoFundMe makes a stink about people that use cannabis, and they don't like people that want to raise money. And this is really not about cannabis. Raising these funds is not to get her meds or get her stuff for, this is basically flat out for a vehicle for transportation, for doctor's appointments, for her to have some quality of life. So this really isn't about cannabis. This is about Hayley, who's a cannabis patient that needs mobility. So this is Hayley's fundraiser to get Hayley a ride, and we'll be auctioning off some of Hayley's beautiful artwork too, because she's going to be able to do that for us because she's feeling a little bit better, which is awesome. And we're going to have to wrap up. We got about 5 minutes to wrap it up here. So I'm going to, like I said, we're going to be doing a GoFundMe. We're going to be doing some auctions. You can reach out to Cheryl on Facebook as well as myself through Cannabis and Coffee or through my personal page. Once the GoFundMe is up, then you can contact me. We might be able to work it out somehow. If you don't want to do through GoFundMe, we can do e-transferring or something along those lines. Maybe we can figure something out like that, because like I said, I want to make sure that we have somebody else has got eyes on the money too, because I don't, how much I hate being in charge of money. I fucking hate it. I always hate that. Where's the money? I actually know who I hear in my head right now. Tracy Curley. Where's the money? Bless her part, but yeah, that's, I could just hear her with her cigarette. Where's the money? So again, like, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't like dealing with cash. It's never been one of my things that I've never wanted to be the treasurer of anything. I just don't want nothing to do with it. But this is super important. So I'm putting. Oh,
I should also state this is not in any way connected to the Hayley Rose Foundation. No. This is solely about Hayley as an individual and her need for a wheelchair accessible vehicle. Right. So just so that out there, do not send money to the foundation for a vehicle that will not, it would not be going to Hayley, because just send it with specifically for her. For her GoFundMe. Yeah. GoFundMe. Because like I said, the foundation's not set up properly to be able to do anything like that. We don't want to take money that's going to Hayley, going into the foundation for that could be not used for Hayley, because the money for the foundation's not. Well, it could go to somebody else which is awesome. But we're specifically trying to raise money for a wheelchair accessible vehicle for Hayley. Right, absolutely, because the Hayley Rose Foundation is not for your personal use. Like, that's people need to understand. Yeah, no, that's not personal use. No, that's not for personal use. Same with any non-profit. That money is not for our personal use, people. That actually has to go and do stuff for people that it's meant for, right? Exactly. So, right. Why we're setting this up all separately from the Hayley Rose Foundation, because this is totally not. Yes. I just wanted anybody out there in case they went, oh, well, why don't we just send it here? Do not send it there. It will not go towards her vehicle. Right. Yeah. And that's good. But be clear on that one, because I know there are lots of people that do follow the Hayley Rose Foundation, and that's terrific. We're glad that that's still there. But again, that's not for personal use for Hayley. That those funds do not go to Hayley or her family at all. They go to others, and that's great. Like you said, that's great. But right now, we're specifically needing money for this vehicle for Hayley. So again, people, if you have access to a Dodge Caravan that's newer, or somebody that does, or somebody would donate, somebody would give money, give something, give, and that's what this is all about: is giving to Hayley, because Hayley needs a gift of life. This will give her a whole change in life. So that's what we want to do. We want to give her some quality of life. That's what this is all about. Give.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I know you do. And that's the whole point, is that we know how much you're going to really enjoy this. And that's what makes it just worth it. It's just worth it. The whole thing's just worth it. You're just worth it.
I'm really excited.
Well, you're really so excited. Me too. For you, I'm and you're gonna have to. The only thing you have to promise us is that once you get this, you take as many pictures as you possibly can, so that we can follow you on all your journeys. Because maybe you can start a blog, call it Hayley's Journeys, and then you can write stories about where you go and what you do, and take pictures.
What do you think?
Yeah.
You like that idea? Perfect.
We'll look forward to that, honey. Okay, again, everybody, we're going to wrap it up and thank our sponsors, and thanks, Cheryl, for being live with us today, and Hayley, too. Thanks for coming on, and we hope you're feeling better real soon, honey. And again, the GoFundMe will be up this afternoon, and anybody who wants anything to do with this, volunteer your time, help us find a vehicle, and if you're in the Lower Mainland, would be specifically exactly, if you could reach out to me or Cheryl, that would be great. So thanks for listening to us today. And I don't know, I'm not sure who's coming on next week. I'm not sure if I'm doing this by myself next week. I'm not sure if we're doing grassroots tomorrow. I'm not sure of anything anymore. So we'll just leave it at that. Everybody have a great week. We'll talk to you next week. Okay. Thank you for listening to us.
Bye-bye.
Radio.net. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good day.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive. The only way to go.
The People's Alliance of Cannabis in Canada is an organization working to improve cannabis legalization in Canada. They have a mission and values that includes all Canadians, no matter where they come from. The values are including everyone, as no one should be excluded from participating, equality, diversity, advocacy, along with cannabis education and research, plus industry, safety, and professional standards. If this is an organization that has the same values as you, check them out at peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Once again, peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Check them out.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.